Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because the ground is shaking in Philadelphia. We are talking about a seismic shift that is about to redefine the Eagles' defense for years to come. Sources are buzzing, the phones are ringing off the hook, and the message is crystal clear. The status quo is over. We are looking at a ruthless restructuring that spares no one, not even young talent we thought was safe. If you think you know what this secondary looks like in 2026, think again. The front office is making moves that scream urgency, and quite frankly, it is about time.
Sources close to the organization have confirmed a developing situation that signals a major departure from the current roster construction. The Philadelphia Eagles are indicating an imminent separation from one of their 26-year-old cornerbacks. This is not a spur-of-the-moment decision. Internal trends and data analysis suggest that the franchise is preparing to move in a completely opposite direction regarding this specific player. The move is classified as part of a broader, calculated defensive restructuring planned specifically for the 2026 season. From an insider perspective, this is about resource allocation and cap management. The front office is looking at the projected numbers, looking at the production value, and they have decided that continuing this relationship does not align with the championship window they are trying to keep open. But let me tell you what this really means. This is the business of the National Football League in its most brutal form. You have a player who is 26 years old. That is supposed to be the prime of an athlete's career. That is when you are supposed to be locking down receivers and earning your paycheck. And yet, the Philadelphia Eagles are looking at this young man and saying, "We are good, thanks, but no thanks." That screams volumes about the level of performance or lack thereof that we have witnessed. Howie Roseman and this front office are sending a message that is loud and clear. Potential means absolutely nothing without production. If you are 26 and you are not making plays, you are expendable. It does not matter where you are drafted. It does not matter how nice of a guy you are. If you are getting torched on third down, if you are not contributing to a championship caliber defense, you are out the door. This is a ruthless, necessary evil. The Eagles' defense has been under the microscope, and mediocrity is no longer being tolerated. They are cutting the dead weight. They are stripping down the parts of the secondary that have failed to launch. It is a wake-up call to every single defender in that locker room. You think your job is safe? Think again. If they are willing to walk away from a 26-year-old entering his physical peak, nobody is safe. This is about setting a standard of excellence that has been missing. But here's the problem with cutting young talent. You create a hole. You create a void in the depth chart that immediately needs to be filled. You cannot just subtract, you have to add. And that leads us to the most burning question of the day. If they are clearing out the youth, who in the world are they targeting to take that spot? You don't make a move this drastic unless you have a massive upgrade lined up.
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights like this and stay one step ahead of every major move the Eagles make this offseason, subscribe now. Do not miss a single update. We just discussed the departure. Now let's talk about the potential arrival that changes everything. The Philadelphia Eagles have identified an urgent, critical need to strengthen their cornerback group this offseason, and they are aiming for the stars. Sources confirm that the Eagles are actively monitoring a Pro Bowl cornerback currently playing for the Seattle Seahawks. This is not a drill. The franchise is looking to inject proven elite experience into a secondary that desperately needs a leader. We are talking about a player who has been recognized as one of the best in the game, someone with the pedigree to shut down half the field. This is the strategic countermove to the separation we just reported. You cut the inconsistent 26-year-old to make room for a bona fide star. And let me be clear, this is exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles need to do. You want to win the NFC East? You want to get back to the Super Bowl? You go get a Pro Bowler. You go get a guy who has faced the best and come out on top. I am sick and tired of watching soft coverage and blown assignments. Bringing in a Pro Bowl talent from Seattle brings that Legion of Boom mentality to the city of brotherly love. It brings swagger. It brings intimidation. This is a power move. Howie Roseman is looking at the landscape and realizing that you cannot win with projects. You win with players who are already polished diamonds. This target is a game changer. Imagine the impact on the pass rush when the quarterback has to hold the ball for an extra second because his primary read is blanketed by a Pro Bowl corner. That is how you dominate. That is how you dictate the pace of a game. This is about aggression. It is about looking at the roster and saying, we are not good enough right now, but we will be. The monitoring of the Seahawks star proves that the Eagles are in win-now mode. They are not rebuilding, they are reloading with high-caliber ammunition. The front office knows that the window is open, and they are trying to kick the door down.
But while the defense is getting a massive makeover with these potential moves, do not think for a second that the offense is being ignored, because the latest reports coming out of the draft room suggest a philosophy shift that is going to impact the very foundation of this team in a way you did not see coming.
While the defense grabs the headlines, the real war is won in the trenches, and the Eagles know it. Fresh draft analyses published today, February 23rd, have directly connected the Philadelphia Eagles to two massive prospects: Utah offensive tackle Caleb Lomu and Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq. Insider reports suggest that despite the defensive restructuring, the franchise is prioritizing the offensive line and the tight end position in the first round of the 2026 draft. This is a strategic pivot to secure the future of the offense. Caleb Lomu is a beast at the tackle position, a guardian for the quarterback, while Kenyon Sadiq brings dynamic versatility as a playmaker. And I absolutely love this. You can have all the fancy receivers in the world, but if you cannot block, you cannot win. Prioritizing Caleb Lomu shows me that the Eagles understand the fundamental rule of football: protect the quarterback at all costs. You build a wall. You make sure that Jalen Hurts has all day to throw the football. And then you add Kenyon Sadiq, a tight end who can block and catch. That is a mismatch nightmare for linebackers. This is how you build a dynasty. You do not just patch holes, you reinforce the foundation. The connection to these two players tells me that the Eagles are looking to physically dominate their opponents. They want to maul you at the line of scrimmage. They want to run the ball down your throat and beat you with physicality. This is Philadelphia football. Caleb Lomu is the type of prospect who anchors a line for a decade. Sadiq is the weapon that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. While everyone is looking at the shiny objects, the Eagles are looking at the concrete and steel that holds the building together. It is a brilliant strategy. You fix the secondary with veterans, and you build the offensive line with top-tier youth. That is the recipe for sustained success. That is how you stay relevant in February. It is bold, it is smart, and it is exactly what this team needs to re-establish its dominance in the trenches. But when you combine the cut of the young corner, the pursuit of the Seahawks star, and this focus on the offensive line, you have to ask yourself, is this the perfect master plan, or are they trying to do too much at once?
The picture is painting itself, and it looks like a masterpiece in the making, but only if they execute. We are shedding the old, targeting the elite, and drafting the future warriors of the trenches. This is a pivotal moment in Eagles history. The front office is all in, but are these the right moves to bring another parade to Broad Street? I want to hear from you. Is cutting a 26-year-old corner the right call to chase a veteran? And is Caleb Lomu the anchor we need? Drop your comments below, because this conversation is just getting started. We are in this together, Philadelphia. Fly, Eagles, fly.